It's the Full Court Press with Eric Frandsen and Jason Walker.
Welcome back to the to the show that we're doing right now.
Following the local teams, breaking down the biggest games with in-depth analysis and team interview. Join the show by calling into 435-752-1069 or text 435-339-0321. It's the Full Court Press.
Rose, answer, yes! Caught! Touchdown! They did it!
Welcome on back into the Full Court Press, second hour on 106.9 FM, 1390 AM The Fan, streaming online at 1069thefan.com and on the 1069 The Fan mobile app. Jason Walker here with Eric Frandsen over there, and we're talking Utah State sports, or at least we have been talking about Utah State's loss to South Florida, kind of trying to pump the brakes. That's what me and you both spending time pumping the brakes on people declaring the sky is falling. And I don't think any of our text line have been like that. Just obviously that was a stinker. Not going to sugarcoat it, but flush it down the toilet and respond.
Yep.
And
you move on. That's
kind of the key there. A lot more work to be done by Utah State basketball. They can't just forget about it. They have to learn from it. And they're going to have to do so quickly. They have a game tomorrow at noon at Charlotte. Or not tomorrow, Sunday.
Sunday, yeah.
Yeah, so they probably left today or maybe early tomorrow to head to Charlotte so they can be there in time. And it's a bit of a road trip for them. But we'll see how well they respond in that one. But let's move on to our kind of next major topic. That's college football. As it's a big weekend for college football. All of the races for the college football playoff are heating up. The discussions are getting, heated
louder.
is one word. Louder, more toxic in some aspects. People just going back and forth at each other, diving as far deep into the stats and records and all that as they can, trying to make their best case for their team to make the college football playoff. I know around here in the state of Utah, it's a big topic with BYU right on the edge. If they win, they're in by virtue of automatic qualifier. If they lose, they're probably out. I know there's a lot of people that don't feel like that should be the case, but that's probably the way it's going to be. And they're underdogs by 12.5 points in the Big 12 title game that'll kick off tomorrow at 8 a.m. I don't know, Eric. Do you think BYU can pull off the win over a Texas Tech team that beat them pretty good earlier in the season?
I don't think so. I think Texas Tech is going to be favored in this one. I think BYU will make it interesting.
They are favored in this one.
Texas Tech is favored?
Yeah, when you say you think they're going to be favored, they are favored.
Well, yeah. I mean, it was figurative speech of how I was trying to explain that. But
sorry, I'm nitpicking your words. I probably shouldn't have done that.
But yeah, I think that this is a really good, balanced, top to bottom offense, defense. Very good Texas Tech team. BYU has made a lot of improvements, but I still think Texas Tech is the more refined and deeper, more talented team. There will be stretches where BYU makes it interesting, but I think Texas Tech still secures the win.
Yeah, probably, and that'd obviously be a shame for the Cougars. And, of course, BYU and Utah both having good seasons. They're probably both going to miss the playoff. That's just kind of course, again, BYU can take care of business.
Yeah.
They don't have to go home. They don't have to rely on anybody else's opinion if they win the game. But that's obviously not the only game with potential playoff implications. There's two others that I really look at that have major implications in terms of who will get into the college football playoff. One being the championship game for the American Conference. Both teams participating in that one are ranked. Number 20, Tulane. Number 24, North Texas. That's happening tonight. Is basically the winner of that game gets in, and the loser of that game goes home to whatever bowl game they end up in. So that's, and there's 3 losses between Tulane and North Texas. Tulane has 2 losses, but they're the higher ranked team. North Texas 11-1, as I said, they're 24th, and they're favored by 1.5 points here.
Yeah, I mean, there are 3 teams vying for that spot to represent the group of 5. James Madison still has to take care of business against Troy. That game is just getting started on ESPN in the Sun Belt Championship. If they win, they still have an outside chance. North Texas and Tulane. Number 24, North Texas, taking on number 20, Tulane. I mean, that's at 6 o'clock on ABC in the American. Odds are that whoever wins that game will still have the better resume than James Madison. But if Tulane, well, I don't know. If North Texas wins, they'll be 12-1, and if James Madison wins, they'll be 12-1. They're just right neck and neck in the rankings. But that's what makes it exciting. It makes it fun to tune into these games. But it comes down to the wire, and this college football playoff seeding is going to be highly discussed and debated tomorrow or on Sunday, because we've got a lot of interesting matchups all over college football still in these conference title game weekend.
So I want to look at this Tulane and North Texas matchup closely, because we have 2 teams, one of which will go to the college football playoff, and both of them have lost their head coach.
Yeah.
I believe Tulane's...
But both of their head coaches are staying. Yeah. They're sticking around to coach the championship, and if they advance to the college football playoff, they will remain with the team.
Which is nice. Like, I do like it, but it's like these are both coaches who are going to leave their team. It's like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Like, both of them. It's just like, that's just insane. And we already have, actually, there's one conference championship game, well, 2 that have actually already started. And that's another one that's interesting. James Madison and Troy. But that one's kind of interesting in conjunction with the ACC title game, Eric, because there is a not insignificant chance that the champion of the American or of the Atlantic Coast Conference doesn't make it to the college football playoff.
Yeah, if Duke pulls off the upset, if Duke beats Virginia, then there is Duke's not going to go to the college football playoff.
Well, here's the thing.
And Virginia with that loss probably is out of the mix.
Yeah. So if Virginia loses, they're out of the mix. They're ranked 17th, so if they win, they're in.
And there's debate about whether Miami should be in or not.
Yeah. And I guess that's true, because Miami's on the edge. So maybe Miami can make it. But of course, there wouldn't be an automatic qualifier, and you'd get 5 automatic qualifiers, one of whom wouldn't be from the ACC. So you'd get, there's 6 automatic qualifiers.
You take 5 automatic qualifiers.
Yeah, 5 automatic qualifiers.
4 P4 conference champions.
Well, it's just the 5.
Well, that's true. It's
the 5
automatic.
highest ranked conference champions.
It's 5 highest ranked conference.
So they're going to take
the
SEC champion, which is either Georgia or Alabama. You're going to take the Big 12 champion, which is either BYU or Texas Tech, and you're going to get the
Big 10.
The Big 10 champion, which is Ohio State or Indiana. And if Virginia wins, that 4th highest ranked conference champion will be the ACC. If Duke wins, they're 7-5. And you look over at the Sun Belt Championship, where you have James Madison, who's ranked 25. Like, is there a world in which the committee has the balls to have Duke leapfrog James Madison to go from unranked to like 23rd?
Effectively into the top 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be so awesome for that committee to say, these are the top 5 ranked conference champions.
And to have,
so we're going to take the 3 Power 4 champions. We're going to take the top team out of the American and the Sun Belt champion.
Yeah. Well, if Troy wins, then it's going to be the ACC champion, I'd imagine. Yeah. How would that even work? Because what if Troy and Duke both win those championship games? Then you might have the champion of both of those. Like, you'd only have 4 ranked conference champions. Like, how does that even work?
This is kind of similar to what happened in the BCS era a long time ago. Who was it? Pitt, I think it was. Utah faced them down in in Arizona at Arizona State's the bowl game that they had.
Because that was back like the New Year's Six bowls. It was the champions of each of the conferences, basically.
Yeah, and they were the highest. I mean, they won their conference, but they were not a very good football team.
Yeah.
And Utah had won the Mountain West, and they were on fire, and they just rolled them. And so there were problems in saying you get an automatic spot at the table from your conference, but what if your conference just isn't that good?
Yeah.
And that's what's being played out right now with the ACC. They've definitely bought in and do well in basketball, but they've not been consistent in football. And it would be so juicy and awesome to see the American champion and James Madison, if they were to pull it off, be the two other top highest ranked conference champions who make the college football playoff.
It'd be nice to have all of the casuals among the college football crowd have their heads explode again, because last year it was why does Boise State get a bye? They're not. It's supposed to be the P4 champions. They thought it was literally not possible.
Right. They could not
according
conceive the situation or perceive a situation at all where that could be possible.
Yeah.
And in the very first year, it's like, guess what? Here's a wrinkle.
Yeah.
And according to your rules, this is how it is.
Yeah, and they just assume, well, it's the 4 P4 champions and a G5. But in this case, there is a scenario playing out. I don't think it's a likely scenario because I don't think Virginia's losing to Duke. But it's a possibility. Like, all it's going to take is for one football game to happen. And, of course, it's going to be one of the last ones.
Virginia's only favored by 4.
Yeah, so it's like, Virginia's a good team, but are they like a dominant team? Who knows? We'll have to see. But it is a possibility that we could have another crazy scenario where, last year you had what people thought was by the rules impossible of Boise getting a bye. You could have 2 G5 automatic qualifiers, which would really upset some people because they're a bunch of, talking head, podcast bro types that are like, why do we even include the G5? We shouldn't even include them. It's like, okay, come on, people. Have some respect for the sport. So, yeah, so the conference championship weekend, there's a lot that can still happen. A bunch of these games are going to be just about seeding. I mean, Georgia, Alabama, that's going to be about seeding. If Alabama wins, they get a top 4 spot. If Georgia wins, I mean, they're already ranked number 3. I mean, Ohio State, Indiana, that's going to be that's certainly going to be an interesting game. Number 1 versus number 2. Is Indiana going to, they're the team that finally broke through, finally started winning some big games.
But they've also had a lot of criticism. You've been able to win games, but who did you really play? What was your non-conference and even your conference schedule? Because these conferences, these power conferences are so big, you can have a pretty soft schedule and still say, I ran through my Big Ten schedule, but who did you really play? And that's the criticism of Indiana. How good are they really? Because we haven't seen them really tested very much in their Big Ten run. Yeah,
they do have the win over Oregon, which is, I think, their best win because it's number 5, Oregon. They beat them by 10 on the road. But, in the regular season, they didn't play Michigan. Of course, I guess Michigan wasn't particularly great this year, but they didn't play Ohio State until now. They did win at Penn State by 3, but that was long after Penn State had fallen very much from grace. I guess Michigan's ranked 19th now, so but they didn't play Michigan. So they do have a win over Illinois. Although Illinois, I think Illinois was ranked at the time, but they're not ranked anymore, as far as I can tell. So it's that's been the criticism of Indiana for a while, is they would never win the big games. They've basically done that once this year, where they beat Oregon. They beat them on the road. That is a good win. But you got to be able to do it again. Or if you don't do it this weekend, go do it in the playoff, because Indiana's making the playoff.
Also tonight at 6 on Fox, it's the Mountain West Championship.
Oh, yeah, I guess we should talk about that.
UNLV at Boise State in a bunch of rain. Apparently it's really coming down in Boise. Boise did not look good in their previously this season in a very wet, rainy game. They really struggled at San Diego when they had to play in the rainy weather, not just in weather, but in rainy weather.
Yeah.
UNLV had a game in the cold and kind of a messy game where there was like hail, kind of snow when they were in Wyoming. They were able to get that win. So they were able to play through it and win. Boise State was not able to play through it, but they were also dealing with just the second game with Max Cutforth as the backup quarterback, and he was still trying to get his feet underneath him. So, I
would also like to point out the caliber of opponent those two teams
yes,
faced.
vastly different. But Maddox Madsen is going to be the starter for Boise, and see how well he does back under center for the Broncos. And UNLV, they have found ways to sneak out wins here and there on the season. They only have 2 losses. Can they sneak out another win? Boise is favored by 6 tonight.
And one of those losses for UNLV was to Boise State, and by like 25 points. So, 3+ touchdowns. So
can Boise do it again, or does UNLV get revenge?
Yeah, and it's also like you get Madsen back, but it's his first game back. Is there any rust? And he's also playing in terrible weather for a quarterback. So
it's going to be ground and pound, I think, tonight.
Yeah, and do you think
lean on the running backs?
Think that favors either team? I mean, the Broncos have Dylan Riley, who's over 1,000 yards, but UNLV has Calandria, Jaden Thomas. Those are both excellent runners. Neither Madsen or Cutforth are really runners, so it's going to be Boise, I mean, they've got like 3 running backs to lean on. And then UNLV's got a great 1-2 punch with Thomas and Calandria. And they've got some good running backs, but like it's those 2. So like could be an interesting game. But yeah, 6 o'clock on Fox. Can Boise State make it 3 in a row? Finish it out for the Pac-12? For the good of the conference? For the good of the next conference? Because this is also kind of this is, Mountain West flag bearing program versus the outgoing, flag bearing program. Which one manages to get the final say in this one?
Oh, the Mountain West wants UNLV to win. They want to say, look at our past champion going into this next year.
Yeah, because in
2026 they want to say, hey, we are our returning champ, our reigning champ.
Yeah,
all the accolades on UNLV coming into the new season, a new era of the Mountain West.
Have any of the teams that are staying behind actually won a Mountain West championship in football?
That are staying behind?
Yeah.
Air Force might have. San Jose has.
Oh, yeah, that's right. San Jose has.
Yeah. I don't know if Wyoming has.
And I'm trying to think. It's basically Air Force, and obviously San Jose did. I'd forgotten them, but like, I don't know if Air Force has actually done it.
Yeah, I don't.
They've not since Utah State joined the conference. They've been close.
You have to go a little bit further back.
And I don't think they would have done it in the era where BYU and Utah were dominating it all the time, and TCU as well.
We'll do some digging on that. I'll find that
might
out.
have to do some digging, but yeah, it's. And I know that's also you get fans on both sides of this debate that are basically in conspiracies of like, all the schools of the departing, for like, oh, Gloria Navarez is rigging things. And it's like, come on, you think Gloria Navarez is calling the refs in the middle of the game to be like, I need you to start throwing pass interference flags.
But we can't have this happen.
Like we literally had this. We were sitting in the press box of Utah State, Boise State, and suddenly we're seeing, there some of the voice writers were watching, San Diego State. There was some pass interference that like wiped away one of their interceptions against New Mexico or something like that. And then suddenly you see on Twitter all the voice writers that are like, oh, is this a coincidence? Like, because Boise also had an interception, like multiple interceptions taken off the board by calls they penalties. Felt weren't right. And obviously it would have benefited New Mexico for Utah State to win. And so it's like suddenly there was this conspiracy. It was like, oh, this is interesting. Is the Mountain West trying to... It's like, no, they're not. And then, of course, some UNLV fan replied to the thing where like I was listing all the coaches who had been praising Bryson Barnes. Like,
oh, yeah?
I was like, oh, they're all from the teams that are leaving. I was like, and?
Because there's a coordinated messaging.
Yeah.
Like we've we've seen this before, right? There's coordinated from the media too, right?
Yeah.
We're getting talking points from the Pac-12 on how to approach the Pac-12 versus Mountain West debates.
Yeah, and there's a PR campaign, and they're putting out all this stuff. A dedicated PR push. It's like, oh my gosh, people. We need to calm down about the conspiracies going on between the teams that are leaving and the teams that are staying.
By the way, the only team that in the Mountain West that will be remaining in the Mountain West who has won a Mountain West championship is San Jose, and that was in 2020.
The COVID year.
Yep. Boise, Fresno, USU, San Diego State. Those are the teams that have won conference championships in the last 13 years.
Yeah, since the departure
the breakup
of Utah. And
you go further back,
UNLA.
Colorado State won a couple in the early 2000s. But in the era as we know it currently constituted for the Mountain West, San Jose is the only remaining left behind Mountain West school to have won a championship.
There's a chance that can change tonight at 6 p.m. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to jump into Utah State volleyball. We've put this off too long. I want to talk about it last hour. We were going long on basketball. Let's talk about Utah State teams that are doing some winning and winning in the postseason. Utah State volleyball getting the win in the NCAA tournament. We'll have the details coming up next here on the Full Court Press.
It's cold outside, but you can keep warm inside with a quality-built, super-efficient York furnace. Count on a furnace from York because it's backed by the strongest warranties available. Call Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning, your local York dealer, at 752-7272. Online at advancedheating-ac.com.
We're not comfortable until you are. Advanced Heating and Air.
For the men and women who feed America and never ask for applause, West Motor Company salutes you. Thank you for raising the food that fills our tables, for your grit, your hard work. West Motor Company is proud to sell Ram and Ford trucks to help you do your job. So right now, farmers and ranchers can take an additional $500 off our lowest price. That's an extra $500 off every rebate, discount, and offer we can find. West Motor Company, 80 years strong and still driven to serve you.
It's back. Jarek's Fine Jewelry in Logan is having our annual Pick a Pearl event. If you've attended this in the past, you know how much fun we have. And if you haven't come before, you don't want to miss this exciting event. Still, only $10. Pick your oyster, open it that day, or save it for that stocking stuffer surprise.
Mark your calendar, Friday and Saturday, December 12th and 13th.
Pick a Pearl at Jarek's Fine Jewelry. Look for the bright green cars.
Jarek's Fine Jewelry. Make it special. Make it Jarek's.
Holiday parties and events at the Riverwoods Conference Center offer a festive and fun holiday atmosphere. Paired with catering from Elements Restaurant, your special occasion can include tasty hors d'oeuvres, delicious entrees, and decadent desserts that always deliver excellence. Now accepting reservations for this holiday season. The Riverwoods Conference Center and Elements Restaurant easily accommodate large or small events. Visit theriverwoods.com or call 750-5151.
Work, school, grocery shopping, doctor's appointments, the gym, to the airport to pick up loved ones, to the kids' soccer games, piano lessons, out for movie night, to hear your favorite band in the city, over to Grandma and Grandpa's house, and on last year's amazing road trip. Your vehicle takes you so many places. Protect it. When you leave your vehicle, remember to always take your keys or key fob with you and lock the doors. If you suspect auto theft, contact the National Insurance Crime Bureau at 1-800-TEL-NICB. That's 1-800-TEL-NICB, or visit our website at www.nicb.org. A public service message from the National Insurance Crime Bureau.
The Aggies, Jazz, high schools, even the Pee Wee's T-ball team. It's the Full Court Press on Sports Talk Radio, The Fan.
Mountain Valley Heating and Air Conditioning. Now is the time to feel the love and the savings. With current tax credits and government rebates, you save up to 40 and 50% on new heating and cooling systems. Call now because the rebates end this year. 435-557-4181. From residential tune-ups to commercial HVAC projects, Mountain Valley has you covered with highly trained and experienced technicians. Call 435-557-4181 or go to mtnvalleyhvac.com and start saving while you feel the love. So, Utah State volleyball in action last night against Tennessee. It was an exciting game, and it started off pretty darn well for the Aggies. They win sets 1 and 2. They won the first set 25-19. The second set by an even more dominant 25-15. Things were looking pretty solid. Then they stopped looking pretty solid. They didn't go super bad. They lost the third set 25-20. It's like, okay, you lost the third set.
Tennessee doesn't want to get swept.
Yeah, it's like, okay, that can happen. But then the fourth set, Tennessee wins 25-18. So suddenly, all that hard work earlier in the game, not gone to waste, obviously. You start 2-0. At worst, you go to a fifth set. But 2-2, all the marbles, fifth set. Really exciting. Go to 15. And Utah State did pretty well, staying ahead of Tennessee for pretty much all of the fifth set. And then came match point, up 14-11. And here's what it sounded like on ESPN+.
Trying to make it 22. Helgeson with the serve. Kerr played back. Helgeson, quick reflexes. And it's over. Tierney Barlow, the senior, ends it, and Utah State marches on to round 2.
Yeah, that was, again, Tierney Barlow with the kill on the assist from Kaylee Kofe, who's just, that's just how it always. She had 57 assists in this game.
Outstanding. It's been since, what was it, 2001, 2002?
Yeah, 2001 was the last time they got it. I wasn't sure they'd ever done it, because I know they have national titles, but that was like before they fully had the NCAA for women's sports and all that. So I wasn't sure they had ever had an NCAA tournament win. I hadn't researched it, but yeah, since 2001, they'd had a few attempts when they were in the WAC, a couple since they've been in the Mountain West under Rob Nielsen. But he gets his first NCAA tournament win with Utah State.
Yeah, super exciting. Awesome to see that run continue. What a streak here by Utah State women's volleyball. Undefeated through that conference schedule, getting through their conference tournament, and going in and taking on an SEC team and beating a higher seeded team. Now, they're going to have their work cut out for them against Arizona State. It's their host venue, so it'll be a decidedly Arizona State favored crowd.
Yeah.
And they're like, what were they, a 3 seed?
I think they're a 2 seed
in this matchup. But you're right, they are a 2 seed. So it's going to be a challenge for Utah State. But look, they've been challenged. They have been challenged, and they keep finding ways to win. Like, they don't back down. Like, this is one of the hallmarks of this team, is that they might lose a set, they might lose 2 sets, but they figure things out and they secure the win. And not that we should just all be happy they made it this far, but this is a team that I believe can still make Arizona State uncomfortable and could pull off an upset tonight. It's absolutely possible. It's 6 o'clock for those who want to watch. It's on ESPN+. And see if Utah State can keep things rolling as this magical season continues.
5763 texting in saying, is there a way to watch tonight's Aggie volleyball game without ESPN+? Asking for a cheap friend.
Not that I'm aware of.
Not without sailing the high seas, which for legal reasons I will not recommend. Yeah. And on a personal level, I wouldn't recommend anyway for, computer safety.
Yeah. If you know somebody who's got to log in, find somebody who's going to be watching. Yeah. Otherwise, you gotta bite the bullet.
Yeah. Your best way to watch the game is going to be without ESPN+ is find a friend who has ESPN+. Although
who has an account.
4781 saying, shoot me a text. I'll give you my login. I don't know if I can facilitate the exchange of phone numbers here. I mean, we have the full phone number, but
We're not going to be a party to any illegal activity.
It's not illegal.
Not
It's just
really
sharing his
illegal.
login.
Not illegal.
Just not swapping phone numbers. So, no, don't send us your login 4781. No. That's almost worse. Just come me to the studio or something. So
if you read it out loud, you didn't know.
Yeah. Well, it's us knowing, like, obviously we're not going to read it over the air, but like, it's just, yeah. So hopefully see if you can find someone, text him or whatnot. If you can watch the game or follow along on the stat broadcast.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any venues in town that may be showing it. I don't know if there's any watch parties at Utah State. There might be, but yeah, sorry, I'm not much help.
Yeah, 471. We already have your full phone number. It shows up on the text line. Maybe we'll if you give us the okay, we will send your phone number to 5763. If you give us the thumbs up,
you guys can work it out.
I'll copy paste your phone number and we'll send a text from us to 5763.
Yeah.
Okay, he gave us thumbs up. So we'll pass that along. I'll try and remember that during the break. We'll pass that along. You can help out 5763.
But just for Utah State volleyball, this is a deep team. We talk about depth and versatility, and this Utah State volleyball team also has that depth and versatility. They're super fun to watch. They don't really get rattled. Like there's a couple of times I was watching last night. Tennessee looked like they were starting to buckle down, and they didn't want to go down without a fight. They started to put a run together. Utah State had the lead. Tennessee rallied to tie it. I think this was in the second set. No, this was in the first set. Utah State had this lead. Tennessee rallied to tie it, but then Utah State, like, nope, we're not going to do that. They got some things figured out, and they went on a little run of them on their own and got the win. And then, of course, with Tennessee rallying, winning sets 3 and 4, Utah State came out and took care of business in set 5, and that was still close. But again, they didn't get tight, didn't let the moment intimidate them, didn't let the opponent intimidate them. So exciting to see what they're able to do and see if they can continue that tonight against Arizona State at 6:00.
Yep, should be a good one. And we went ahead and I forwarded the phone number. So
there you go.
He's telling me to do it. Even sent in that Emperor Palpatine. Do it.
Yeah.
Or I guess Chancellor Palpatine at the time.
Get it figured out.
Yeah. Hopefully you can watch the Aggie game. We want everyone who can. I won't be able to watch it because I'll be busy calling the Logan game. One of the 6 teams in action for high school basketball, boys basketball tonight. 2947 saying our women's volleyball is amazing. Wish I knew where to watch. Also, isn't a cruel irony, the 2 football teams we really beat and should have beat. Oh yeah, for Utah, just shot ourselves in the foot. Are playing each other in the Mountain West championship game. Yeah, Utah State should have beat both teams that are playing in the Mountain West title game, and if they had, they'd be in it. They'd probably be hosting it.
Probably. I mean, they're 2 closest losses.
Yeah.
They didn't have. Besides those, the other losses were kind of blowouts. But
yeah, pretty much all of them. Like, every win or loss they had, aside from those 2 games. I don't know. San Jose was a 5-point win, but I guess Fresno was decently close.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But
yeah, your
teams,
point stands. I'm just waffling on here, but they was too close. As all the other losses were blowouts, those 2 losses were really close and games they should have won.
Yeah, late fourth quarter opportunities to win both games, and they didn't. And now those 2 teams are playing for the Mountain West Championship tonight.
Yeah, so
it would have been sweet to see 2 outgoing Mountain West teams in the conference championship.
That'd have been funny. Just
gonna stick it in their eye, make Gloria Navarez be there and put a smile on her face and talk about the legacy of the Mountain West and
all that. And it's like, yeah, except
see you, bye.
Yeah, goodbye. That would have been pretty funny. And but who knows? We'll maybe have that in basketball, though. We'll see. Let's see who's the best remaining team right now.
Right now,
Nevada or New Mexico,
Wyoming.
I think. Oh, yeah, Wyoming. Yeah, in the net. They're definitely the best so far. They've not really played anybody yet, but they're playing well in the games they have on their schedule.
Yeah.
So give them the credit they deserve for that. We got to go ahead and take one more break. I've actually got to say goodbye because I've got to head over to Logan High School, but I'll leave it to Eric to...
I'm arriving late.
Yeah.
You're leaving early. It's how we roll on a Friday here on the Full Court Press.
None of us can stay for the entire show. I'll leave it to Eric to preview high school, all the games tonight, how to watch and or listen to those games in addition to all the college football that you've got there. You can talk about the World Cup if you want.
I'll save that for another time.
Eric is a hater. He hates soccer. So
Not
anyway, it's true. It's definitely true. Don't believe him. We'll take a break. We'll be back after this here on the Full Court Press.
Kids get snow days. Contractors take winters off. But Top Shed doesn't. Snowing, freezing, Mother Nature throws a tantrum, we keep building. From sheds to backyard retreats to chicken coops, Top Shed builds on-site in your community across northern Utah, southern Idaho, and Wyoming. If your backyard's ready, we're ready, because Mother Nature can't cancel us. Top Shed, making sheds great again. Call 435-760-7766 or visit topshedusa.com.
Winter's here and that old car sitting in your driveway isn't getting any warmer. Turn that frozen junker into cold hard cash with DD Auto and Salvage in Logan. It's never too cold, too wet, or too late to clean up and cash out. DD Auto and Salvage makes it quick and easy. They'll even pick it up for you. Get the most money possible for your junk vehicle or scrap metal and earn a little extra holiday cash while you're at it. Call 787-1204. That's 787-1204. And let DD Auto and Salvage pay you today. DD Auto and Salvage. Cold cars turned into hot cash.
Who do you turn to if you want to change out your wood or pellet stove? Advanced Fireplace and Stove. They were voted the gold medalist for Best of Northern Utah for the 5th year in a row in the fireplace retrofit category. Be ready when the government's next wood and pellet replacement incentives pop up. Advanced Fireplace can help you navigate the paperwork. For more information, call Advanced Fireplace and Stove, 752-7272. Online at advancedfireplaceandstove.com.
Thank you for letting Cache Valley Ear, Nose, and Throat, the Allergy Clinic, and the Hearing Aid Center care for your family this year. Be sure to call us for an appointment before the end of the year to make the most of your cafeteria or flex funds. Located in Providence and North Logan, Cache Valley ENT also has offices in Box Elder, Rich, Bear Lake, and Franklin counties. The entire team at Cache Valley Ear, Nose, and Throat wish you and your family a healthy holiday season. Go to CacheValleyENT.com for details. Most insurance plans, including Select Health, are accepted.
They never could play it, but they sure can talk about it. Eric Frandsen and Jason Walker on the Full Court Press.
Get blowout pricing on all 2025 Ski-Doo and Polaris snowmobiles up to $6,000 off. And don't forget Young Power Sports offers free pickup and drop-off for service and free preseason checks on all snowmobiles. Just off South Main and Logan, Young Power Sports Logan, where your winter adventure begins. And they sponsor our text line, 435-339-0321. For those who want to chime in, be a part of the program. Always love to hear from you. Recapping what happened last night in high school hoops. We got the Rod Tueller Classic taking place here in northern Utah. Bear River also hosting their own tournament. So very busy throughout our northern Utah landscape for college basketball, high school basketball. And it continues tonight. And so just before we talk about who's playing where tonight, just a quick update on what happened last night. Crimson Cliffs coming up to North Logan and facing Green Canyon. Green Canyon got Crimson Cliffs, pulled off the upset in football in the high school football playoffs. Well, the basketball team took out some revenge there, beat Green Canyon 66-55, where Crimson Cliffs was in control most of the game, well, pretty much the whole game. Green Canyon tried to make it interesting to get it a little bit closer in the second half, but Crimson Cliffs was just too much for the Wolves. Logan hosting Cottonwood, and Cottonwood just rolled over the Grizzlies. The Colts winning 82-59 in Logan. In Hiram, close contest there. This was Mountain Crest and Carbon facing each other. Mustangs get out with a nice little lead at halftime. Carbon has a rally in the third quarter, make it interesting, and then they continue to apply the pressure. It's a one-possession game late in final seconds, and it's Mountain Crest who eventually pulls out the win, 58-56 for the Mustangs, getting that win last night. Skyview hosting Hurricane in Smithfield last night, and the Tigers just demolished Skyview 73-43, winning by 30 points for Hurricane. And then also another one, it was Ridgeline taking on Desert Hills, and the Riverhawks took care of business there, beating the Thunder 59-41. And then in Tremonton for the Bear River Bears, hosting Emory, the Bears getting a nice win there, winning 76-67. So very busy day. Now, there was also another interesting contest in our area, Malad hosting Rich, and it was Malad winning 80-76 yesterday. So a lot of non-region games taking place yesterday. A lot more games on the schedule again tonight, and we've got a lot of them that are going to be broadcast on our family of radio stations, also video streaming on CashValleyDaily.com. So Green Canyon hoping to bounce back after their loss to Crimson Cliffs, taking on Desert Hills tonight. That'll be on 100.9 Light FM. Kaysen Miller on the call for us on that one. In Mountain Crest, it'll be the Mustangs taking on the Tigers of Hurricane. And Adam Lurcher sliding over to help John Olson on that game. It'll be on 107.7. Also video streaming on Cache Valley Daily. Skyview looking to try to get back on track. That may be tough. Cottonwood looked pretty good in their game against Logan. So it'll be Skyview hosting Cottonwood tonight. You'll hear that here on The Fan. Hurricane John Newbold will be on the call. Ridgeline and Crimson Cliffs square off tonight in Millville. That'll be on 104.5 The Ranch with Dave Simmons and Nick Zollinger on the call. And then Bear River hosting their game in their gym tonight with Canyon View. That game scheduled to tip off at 8. Last night's game was a little bit delayed because they are the last game of a few games happening in their gym, but it's scheduled to begin at 8 o'clock. The Mountain Crest game also could be a little bit delayed. I've seen a few different things about their tip time. We're planning on 7. It could be a little bit late because they've got, it looks like a doubleheader going on in their gym as well with their girls basketball team playing a little bit earlier game. So there's a chance that one might start a little bit later, but we've got ways to watch and listen on our website, CashValleyDaily.com, and on our full family of radio stations. And then tomorrow, the games continue because the games, instead of at host venues at the various high schools, now they shift and will take place in the Spectrum. And a really cool opportunity for these teams to face each other there on Merlin, or excuse me, not Merlin Olsen Field, Stu Morrill Court, and you have a chance to see those games and go get a ticket and watch a bunch of basketball all in one venue if you really want. But it's going to be a busy day. It's going to start with Logan. They will have the first game of the day, and they'll host Desert Hills. That's at noon, and we'll have that on KVNU. Also, after that, it's going to be Skyview here on The Fan, taking on Crimson Cliffs. That'll scheduled to tip off at 1:30. Bear River in their own tournament. They'll be hosting Roy, that game again in Tremonton in their own gym in Garland. Then at 3 o'clock back in the Spectrum, that'll be Mountain Crest and Cottonwood. At 4:30, scheduled to be Green Canyon versus Carbon, the Wolves and the Dinos at 4:30. And then to finish off the evening, Ridgeline taking on Hurricane, and that's scheduled to tip off at 6. Now, again, some of these times subject to change a little bit. If a game goes long, if it goes to overtime, they have to have a designated amount of time after the first game ends before the second game can begin, to put 20 minutes on the clock to let teams warm up and go through their normal routines. But just keep an eye on Cache Valley Daily. Those games will be broadcast, and we'll also have those games on our family of radio stations here throughout northern Utah. So busy night last night, another busy night tonight, and then a variety of games on the schedule tomorrow, all throughout the afternoon and into the early evening, taking place in the Spectrum or in Garland for the Bears. So interesting night. And we'll see if tonight's much different. If we see trends continue, teams played well last night. How well did they do tonight? These are great opportunities for these teams and these coaches in these multi-team events at the high school level in these tournaments to get into a feel for how this works, how to quickly turn around and prepare for a different opponent and a different style before they get down to the state tournament, which will take place in February. So best of luck to our local teams as they're in action throughout the day tonight, and continue to keep an eye on what's going on CacheValleyDaily.com. All right, we're going to take a quick break here on the Full Court Press, and when we come back, an update on what's going on in the games on the schedule tonight for the college football, but at Mountain West basketball as well, and a quick look at Utah State and Charlotte. Utah State men's basketball next opponent who they will face on Sunday. Quick look at who they are next here on the Full Court Press.
Addiction is the one thing that everybody knows about, but not many people talk about. If you're finding yourself in a situation where you're struggling with personal addiction, or maybe you love someone who's struggling with addiction right now, our friends at Renaissance Ranch have a place where you can go for healing. And they focus on more than just the addiction. They help your family heal too. Addiction doesn't just impact one person, it impacts everybody it touches. Learn more at renaissanceranch.net. Also, you can visit their location right here in Logan.
Since 1896, S.E. Needham Jewelers has been selling diamonds in historic downtown Logan. Today, you have a choice of both natural and lab-grown diamonds. You'll be impressed with the affordability of our diamonds today. With our international suppliers from Israel, India, and Antwerp, Belgium, we're able to guarantee the best price. Simply magnify our diamonds, select your favorite, and have it mounted in a ring of your choice. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 7, where Utah gets engaged. S.E. Needham Jewelers, middle of the block, at the sign of the clock.
Looking for a luxurious local space to host your next gathering? The Hive Event Center in downtown Logan brings modern elegance to your wedding, private party, or business event. Your guests will be amazed at the glamorous design, and you'll benefit from the advanced tech included in every rental, from DIY parties to full-service packages. 255 South Main in Logan behind Beehive Grill. Luxury lives here. The Hive is your place to gather.
Luxury lives here. Luxury lives here. The Hive.
See us online at thehivelogan.com.
This is Ryan at My Mattress. We've been thinking about what you're going to get each other for Christmas, and we want to help out a little bit. Jewelry. The bling is cool, but didn't you do that recently? USU season tickets. No. Well, maybe. And if you do, call me. We'll go together. A hot tub. Yeah, they're cozy for 30 minutes, but let me suggest something that'll keep you cozy and supported and help your day go better. A mattress at My Mattress. The best time of the year to buy is right now. Come in today and sleep better tonight. The best Christmas gift possible.
If you're a guy turning 18, you need to register with the Selective Service System. It's the law, and we wanted to make absolutely sure you get the message, so we brought in someone we knew you'd pay attention to.
50 push-ups!
Hey, Coach.
Get on that computer! SSS.gov! Not fast enough! 50 jumping jacks!
It's for your own good, because not registering with Selective Service could cost you a shot at college loans and grants, federal jobs, job training, and in most states, it could even cost you a driver's license.
I'm talking to you! Run that hill! 50 hills!
Go to SSS.gov to register with Selective Service. 2 minutes and you're done. It's just something you have to do.
Pick up the pace! 50 ballet jumps over the alligator pit!
Register with Selective Service at SSS.gov within 30 days of turning 18. If you don't, the consequences could be ugly.
Don't you smirk at me! 50 belly flops into moving traffic!
The Full Court Press on Sports Talk Radio, 106.9 FM, 1390 AM. The Fan.
Welcome back to the Full Court Press. Eric Frandsen, Jason Walker is headed to the Logan High to get ready for the Grizzlies as They are in action tonight. They are now, I've already forgotten who they face. There's 18 different games that we're trying to figure out how to produce for a variety of different things. Logistically, to get these games on the air when not all of our people are available when they normally are. It's been entertaining. It's one word that I'll try to use for that. But Logan is in action tonight. Now I've forgotten who they face. But that game will be on KVNU. They will... Oh, boy. I'm trying to find it, and I can't remember. Anyway, Jason's on his way there to get ready for the game. Carbon, that's who it is. They host Carbon tonight. So the Grizzlies and the Dinos tonight on KVNU with Jason Walker. But looking at a couple of the things going on, just wanted to give you a quick update. Scores that are going on in games tonight in college football. It's the conference championship weekend. A couple of games going on tonight. A bunch more on Saturday, but we've got 4 games on the docket this evening. 2 underway right now. 2 more will be kicking off at 6. Right now, James Madison leads Troy at the end of the first quarter 3-0. Early in the second quarter, it's Kennesaw State leading Jax State. But at 6 o'clock, these are the more intriguing games on ABC. Number 24 North Texas taking on number 20 Tulane in the American Championship. And on Fox, UNLV at Boise State. And it's been raining pretty hard in Boise this evening, so could turn out to be kind of a ground and pound game between those two teams later on this evening, vying for the Mountain West Championship. Tomorrow, as we've mentioned, BYU Texas Tech, that's at 10 a.m. on ABC. On ESPN, it's Miami of Ohio and Western Michigan. But at 2 o'clock on ABC, number 3 Georgia, number 9 Alabama. At 6 on Fox, number 2 Indiana, number 1 Ohio State. And at 6 on ABC, Duke and number 17 Virginia. So this college football playoff is far from being settled. After the games tonight, there could be some more chaos tomorrow. And then the final rankings come out on Sunday. Once that is set, then the bowls start to get announced, at least more definitively. We've already seen a few announcements sneak out here and there with some bowl pairings. Nothing definitive about Utah State. Some of the options that Utah State could have been in contention for are taken off the board now. But we still have to wait and see how these things shake out tonight, tomorrow, and then with the final rankings to determine who's going to the playoff, then who goes to other bowls, high-profile bowls on Sunday. Utah State will hold a press conference Sunday afternoon, and so we'll have details on that. We'll share those details on Cache Valley Daily and certainly on our own feeds and here on The Fan on our own social accounts. So watch for that coming up this weekend. A lot still going on for Utah State football. For Utah State basketball, they're taking on Charlotte 49ers on Sunday. That's at noon tip-off. Become familiar with ESPN Plus because that's one other game that'll be featured on that platform. Aggies and 49ers on Sunday at noon. This is a team that's 4-5 on the year. They won their first 2, Indiana State and Tennessee Tech. They took care of business, and then they lost 3 in a row, losing to Davidson, Virginia Tech, App State. The App State loss was close, and they were competitive in their game with Virginia Tech, ultimately losing by 8. Beat Shaw. Couldn't tell you where Shaw is located. Lost to Illinois State, lost to Richmond, beat NC-A&T. So their wins aren't necessarily high profile by any means. Their losses, some of them they've been competitive in, haven't really been blown out in any of their games. Illinois State, they did lose by 10, but Richmond, they only lost by 5. App State, they only lost by 2. Virginia Tech, lost by 8. Davidson, lost by 7. So they've been competitive in a number of their games. Looking at the net rankings, Charlotte comes in at 188. Utah State, before the game against South Florida, was 19. After the game, after it's all been settled, after all the games were done yesterday, fell to 41 in the net rankings. But this is a Charlotte team that doesn't really rank highly in too many statistical categories. They're a top 100 team in rebound margin, coming in at 93, 113th in offensive rebounds per game. So it's a team that can rebound the ball semi-decently, but not particularly strong in too many other categories. Only 309th in defensive rebounds per game. So really big distance and discrepancy between those two categories. But Charlotte, the 49ers, is a team that has a couple players who average double figures. Ben Bradford, their guard, averages about 15 points a game. Anton Bulke, their center, 11 points, 8 rebounds, almost 9 rebounds a game. Also nearly 2 blocks a game. So Utah State has struggled with teams that have solid big men in the paint. And this is a Charlotte opponent that's got a big guy in the paint who has a significant presence. The backup center also averages 6 points a game. So this is a team that has some good guard play, but also has some good centers on their roster. And Bonke, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that name correct or not, 7'2", out of Vanuatu. Big body, only 270 pounds. But he's a 7'2" junior, and certainly a lot of size. The other center that gets in there and makes plays and helps him out, senior Kuluel Mading, and he's 6'11", so 250 pounds. So they do have some size that could prove to be a challenge for Utah State. But when you look at Bradford, their leading scorer, the person who leads their team, he's a 6'5" guard. So they've got some good size on their guard line. They're not diminutive by any means. Their guards 6'5", 6'7", got a couple of 6'7", 6'10" forwards. So Charlotte may not have a great record, may not have some great metrics on them yet, but this is the type of team, just looking at their roster and their raw metrics, this is the type of team that's been a bit of a challenge for Utah State. So this would be a good one for Utah State to exercise their demons from yesterday. Get back to team basketball, team concepts, helping each other out, good half-court offense if they can, and take care of business on the road at Charlotte. Again, that tips off at noon. So KVNU game day coverage will begin at 11 a.m., tip off at 12 o'clock. But quickly, just another quick rundown of what's going on in the Mountain West. Only one game tonight in conference or among conference members. San Jose State hosting San Diego at 8 o'clock tonight. Busy day on Saturday. Boise State at Butler, and that game is going to be on TNT at noon. Fresno State is at Arkansas, 2 o'clock on SEC Network. Wyoming is hosting Dartmouth. Colorado and Colorado State square off in Fort Collins. That's going to be on CBS Sports Network at 3. Grand Canyon hosting Oklahoma State, 5:30 on CBS Sports Network. And New Mexico hosting Santa Clara at 7 o'clock on Saturday. And then there's a few games on Sunday as well. The Aggies aren't the only team in action. UNLV at Stanford, Nevada at Washington State. Some other games definitely to keep an eye on in conference play for the Mountain West. That's going to do it for us tonight here on the Full Court Press. Thanks so much for tuning in, being a part of the program. Always appreciate the texts. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you back again on Monday here on 106.9 FM, The Fan.
The home for Skyview Sports. Sports Talk Radio, KLGN Logan, 106.9 FM, 1390 AM, The Fan.